welcome. It's been a little bit since I have filmed a video. I feel like every time I open, I always say this, but it was such a fun but crazy holiday season. I'm really happy to finally be back. It is the first full weekend of 2025, which is absolutely crazy. And I made a decision today that was a little spur of the moment. One of my goals for 2025 and 2024 as well was to read as many classics as humanly possible, to really tackle those books that have been sitting on my shelves for such a long time. And I was thinking, why not do it together? Why not start a book club online with all of you, whoever wants to join, and we can tackle all of these books together, these books that I'm calling the final bosses. So if you are interested, you are more than welcome to join my final boss book club. We're going to be spending 2 months on each of these books. So there are 6 books total for the year, and they're all books that were on my 2025 TBR, and I thought it might be nice if we could try to read them together. I am planning to film reading vlogs for all of these books, and I started a book club on Fable, which I will link down below. I really enjoyed using Fable. I am a part of the Game of Tomes book club on there. I'm a part of some other ones on there as well, and they're just so much fun. It's fun to see what other people are reading on there, what other book clubs are up to. So I thought it might be fun to start my own, and this idea for the final boss just popped into my head today, and I thought I really have to follow through with this. I thought it would be so much fun. So if you want to join the party of heroes, come on along and let's take a look at some of the final bosses we're going to be tackling. So for January and February, I mentioned this book on my winter 2025 TBR, so this probably isn't going to come as a shock if you watch that video. But the first book is Anna Karenina by Leo Tolstoy. This has been on my shelves for so long, and I have been meaning to read it. I also, to kind of hold myself accountable as well, I had this translation before, and my dad very lovingly got me a second translation. I like comparing and contrasting editions, so I'm not quite sure what this edition is called, but this is one of the translations I'm comparing, and I also have the Oxford Classics translation. So I'm going to be kind of reading these side by side. I really like doing that with Russian literature, just to kind of compare and contrast. But that is what I'm going to be reading in January and February. I already have Anna Karenina up on Fable, which again, I'm linking down below. So this is what we're starting with in January and February. In March and April, we are going to be reading a book that I have read parts of. I have started, I've kind of quit halfway through, I've skimmed the ending, I've read bits in between here and there, but I've never read all in one go, and it is more than time for me to read this book in its entirety, and it is Emma by Jane Austen. I can't believe I've never fully finished this book. Thought this would be a really great springtime book. I always kind of associate Jane Austen with spring, so I thought this would be a fun one. This is kind of a funky edition too. I have a couple others, but this was the one I could get my hands on right now. So Emma for the springtime. And then in May and June, this one I'm really excited about. This is one I have been meaning to read for literally 10 years. It is none other than Moby Dick or The Whale by Herman Melville. My copy is the Penguin Classics edition, and oh my gosh, I read Billy Budd, which is a novella by Herman Melville that also takes place on a ship similarly to Moby Dick. I read that when I was a senior in high school. I was 17. I'm 28 now, and I've been meaning to read Moby Dick that entire time. I can't believe I've never gotten to it, but this is the year, this is the time. I'm finally going to read Moby Dick in all of its rambling glory. I remember talking to my dad about this book a very, very long time ago, probably when I was a senior in high school. And I remember him saying, there's a lot of whaling in here. And whenever you hear Moby Dick talked about, you hear about the whaling stuff. So we're gonna tackle that together. We're gonna take down the whale, take down Moby Dick, and I'm so excited about it. I feel like this is gonna be a fun one, especially for like the beginning of the summertime. I think this is gonna be a really fun one. I'm going to the beach with my family in June, and I'm just kind of picturing myself on the beach finishing up Moby Dick, and I really hope that that's what happens. So that is for May and June. I'm honestly a little torn for the pick for July and August. They're kind of related. They're kind of random, but I have, this is another one that I've had on my shelves for such a long time. It is A Connecticut Yankee in King Arthur's Court by Mark Twain, which I know this is so random. This isn't the book from Mark Twain you hear talked about an awful lot, but I remember hearing Ariel Bissett on Books Unbound talking about this for, gosh, she talked about this book a lot when the podcast first came out in like 2019, 2020, and I think I bought this then. Maybe I bought it before that. I don't even know when I got this book. This book has just been lingering on my shelves for such a long time. Maybe this is one my dad recommended to me. I don't even remember. So this does seem like a romp, though. If you are unfamiliar with this book, since it is kind of a random pick, I will read the synopsis to you really quickly. The plot is, cracked on the head by a crowbar in 19th century Connecticut, Hank Morgan wakes to find himself in King Arthur's England, facing a world whose idyllic surface masks fear, injustice, and ignorance. So, I don't know, I've always thought that this one sounded fun. Like I said, I'm torn between this one and, kind of related, Le Morte d'Arthur, I totally butchered that, by Sir Thomas Malory. This is all about King Arthur and his Knights of the Round Table, and I don't know, I'm kind of torn between the two. They're both kind of chunky. I don't know if we could read them both. Maybe I'll post a poll when the time comes. I was kind of leaning towards Mark Twain, but we'll see what happens when the time comes. Maybe we'll be so exhausted by Moby Dick by the time we get to this point, we'll just kind of want something a little bit lighter, a satire, or maybe we'll want to dig into something a little bit more complicated like Le Morte d'Arthur. So we'll see what we pick when the time comes, but I'm really excited for both of these books. Second to last, for September and October, this is another book I'm so excited to read. I haven't read this author yet, I don't think, and it is Far From the Madding Crowd by Thomas Hardy. I'm pretty sure this will be my first Thomas Hardy book when we come to this. I have heard that this is a great book for the fall time. It is a total autumn read, and it's not as thick and chunky as some of the other ones have been. It's still a long book, but I am really excited about this book, and I'm so happy to be reading it and sharing it with you. So that is the pick for September and October. And finally, this feels like a final boss for me. This is a book that I have been meaning to read ever since I was a teenager. For November and December, my pick is Great Expectations by Charles Dickens. I cannot believe I haven't read this book yet. I was an English major in school and I never read this book. I don't know how that really happened. This is a quintessential Charles Dickens, and I can't believe I've never read it, and I absolutely love this edition. This is a Penguin Classics Deluxe Edition. I love these. They're so beautiful, and I'm really excited to dip into this. I feel like this will be a great book to finish off autumn and kickstart the winter season yet again a year from now. I'm really excited to read this and to read all of these books with you. Like I said, if you are interested, please feel free to read along. If you don't want to use the Fable app, that's completely fine. I'm also planning on filming vlogs for each of these books and posting them, and if you had any thoughts on the book, you could comment them on those video posts as well. But that is it for the 2025 book club pick, my final boss book club. I'm really excited about it. I hope you are too. And I can't wait. I have to go back to the beginning of this pile to get to. I'm really excited to start things off with you with Anna Karenina. Let me know your thoughts. I'm going to be starting this within the week. I think I'm definitely going to need these 2 months to really get through this monster, but I think once we get through this, we can get through anything. We can defeat any final boss. Thank you for joining the party, for coming along on this journey with me. I'm so excited, and thank you so much for watching. If you want to keep up with my reading vlogs for all of these books, be sure to subscribe to my channel. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. Bye.